With so much software available in the short-term rental industry these days, it's increasingly difficult to keep up to date with what's on the market and to determine whether it's a maybe or a must-have for you and your business. So meet one provider each week in a short interview, learning what they do and what they offer. So if you have around 15 minutes to spare, it could prove to be a very good investment to stick around. So let's see who and what is out there, one by one, with me, Deborah Larby, also known as the Guest Inspector.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to Techsplained with the Guest Inspector. We've all heard of dynamic pricing and revenue management, and I'm sure you're all familiar with companies that offer this service. But I was surprised recently to learn that one offers more than this. Today, I'm chatting with Ryan, who will explain to us all the services that Beyond offers. Hello, Ryan. How are you?
Doing well. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
And thank you very much for coming along. Now, first question in one sentence, what does Beyond do?
Yeah, absolutely. To put it straight, Beyond is an all-in-one revenue management solution for short-term rental managers and also owners and hosts to get, grow, and keep their own revenue.
Okay, now we've heard of dynamic pricing and revenue management. I think the first question I'm going to ask you is, what's the difference? What's dynamic pricing and what's revenue management?
First off, I love this question. It's what I've been trying to answer and tell people and discuss over the past couple of years. And I would say right off the bat, there's so much more to revenue management than just dynamic pricing. Dynamic pricing is a great foundational start for your revenue management strategy, but there's many more factors that go into revenue management. And I always say, when you're thinking about defining revenue management, think about how a guest goes and actually books one of your properties and all of the variables and controls that they're seeing along the way, photos, reviews, where they're actually booking your listing, when it's available, if there's any minimum stay requirements. Pricing is a big factor in that decision to get somebody to book, but there's so many other things you can control that also influences getting someone to book and driving more revenue. So that's how I think about revenue management. It's the bigger umbrella, and dynamic pricing falls under that and is important, but there's a lot more to explore under it as well.
Very interesting. Okay. Well, as a property manager, I'm coming to Beyond. What can you offer me? Let's go through each service that you offer. So you start off with dynamic pricing.
Absolutely. Yeah. So we started with dynamic pricing. We actually introduced it to the industry. So before us, there was classic pricing in a property management system or using one of the OTAs. And we built out the dynamic pricing algorithm to read what's going on in the market and use external market data and say, oh, you can actually increase your prices quite a bit more on this day for this event and drive revenue that way. And in periods of low demand, actually lower your rate. The difference here is that it's changing by day. So we really were able to lift the vacation rental industry up to the standards of airlines and car rentals and hotels that use similar pricing where guests are already accustomed to the rate being different every single day of the year, really. So we offer that as our first product. We've built more since then. We actually changed our name from Beyond Pricing to just Beyond because we started to offer more. But we love our dynamic pricing product. It's super exciting. We've continued to build it over the past 8 years. So we've really seen over the years how things change, how to use data in different ways. I think the past years was a really great example of that. And sort of building a robust system that can respond and react to wild shifts in market demand and ultimately help our users win out.
Yes, very interesting. And then your second service, channel management. That's a new one for a revenue management company.
Yeah, this one I'm really, really excited about. Going back to, again, these factors that control revenue management and really what ultimately gets a guest to book. I think if you go to book a hotel via, let's say, Google, you're probably going to come across hundreds of websites where you could possibly book this one hotel because that industry has built up their distribution over many, many years to reach as many eyeballs as possible, especially on the internet. So we wanted to introduce our product Relay, which is an OTA syncing platform that manages listings and pricings across booking websites without the extra manual admin work. So it's an easy way to say, oh, I'm only selling on Airbnb right now, or I'm only selling on booking.com or my direct website. I can generate a lot more revenue by pushing my listings out to additional websites, get more people looking at them, and ultimately build up the audience that's possibly going to book one of my listings on one of my days. We've actually done studies, and it's kind of anywhere between 3 and 5 channels that you're selling your properties on and your inventory on, where you actually maximize revenue. Because at a certain point, you're going to be able to keep rates a little bit higher and almost make these different channels kind of fight for your inventory in periods of high demand, which is a great spot to be in, especially also in periods of low demand when, the people booking on Airbnb might not be the people booking in your market in low season, but the people on booking.com might be. So that's where it really comes into play. And I was really excited that we introduced this product a couple of years ago, because it opened up the conversation for us past just pricing. Going back to that revenue management piece, you can lower your pricing for a listing that might not be doing well, but ultimately it might just be that it's not on enough websites, or it's not spread out enough to get people to book. So we're really excited about the Relay product in general to help property managers and hosts do that.
Yeah. So if as a property manager, if I sign up with you for the dynamic pricing, so I basically end up with all of my listings that have dynamic pricing that I can then push out to various channels. Can I say I want more of a markup? Oh, sorry, no. Sorry. Beyond then will judge if a price should go up or down on the various channels because of the time of year or season, et cetera. So it's all in the one, the dynamic pricing and being pushed out to channels and switching around as necessary on the channels.
Absolutely. So if you're using both dynamic pricing and Relay, you don't have to be using both. You can use them separately if you wanted to. If you're using pricing, we're setting that foundational price strategy for your rent on each individual night. And then Relay takes over on the channel side. And to answer your question about markups, you can set markups a few different ways, actually. So the classic way, I think, is if you're selling on 3 channels and you want to mark up maybe the more expensive channel to sell on, the one that has the higher host fee, you can set that and say every single day across the year, I need to make sure that my rates are 10% above all my other rates on this specific channel. That's sort of the old school way that I think about it. So Relay offers that. What we also introduced last year was something called dynamic channel markups. So we said, hey, we're using all this data for our pricing algorithm in these markets to say, okay, there's a really big event here, we can increase rates, or it's low season, we need to keep rates low. We can do that same thing on the channel markup side. So for example, if you're selling on your direct booking website and also Airbnb and VRBO maybe, for the biggest event of the year, let's say it's Christmas and New Year's Eve, our system will say you can increase your markups on those OTA channels, booking.com, VRBO, Airbnb, whatever it might be, by 40, 50%, and keep your direct booking rates low to get somebody on your direct booking website for those high demand dates. So we do that automatically through Relay. And that to me is almost next level revenue management. That's the thing that sort of excites me here, because we've been talking about pricing so long. It's not necessarily set it and forget it, but you have your pricing strategy and it's working well for you. What do you do next to really win out in the market? And leveraging our tool to automatically handle those types of markups by channel is something I'm super, super excited about. And I think it's something that also arms property managers and hosts and owners against these big OTAs. If Airbnb is going to increase their hosting fee in your market, what do you have to fight against that? And channel markups might be the solution.
Channel markups, I like that a lot. Okay, and then the next service you offer, Signal. Tell us a little about Signal.
Yes, also very excited about Signal. I think I'm excited about all of our products here. Back in 2020, we actually acquired Blizzard. So summer of 2020 to offer direct booking websites. So we launched Signal in 2020 as well. And again, that also sort of fits into your revenue management platform. I mean, there are a lot of property managers that are looking for that direct booking solution. So we build custom websites with our booking engine tool for property managers all in one to be able to build up that direct booking solution. And really, again, I think that's a valuable tool against these OTAs in this war of distribution that we might be heading towards. That really is important as an anchor of your strategy for a property manager. So we offer that, start to finish website building. We also do sort of website revamps, but we have an entire team that works with property managers to to go through launch, everything from photos to SEO to making sure everything's connected. And if you're working with a property management system, that everything's tied in and ready to go. So very excited about that because it is such a core piece of that strategy to keep your distribution costs low.
Right. So this is not a template, here's a template, you fill in the details. You're actually doing the work.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
If you're launching a new Signal website, you're working directly with our team to figure out what photos work best and get all that information from you. We ask for some of your time while you're onboarding to say, you're the one that knows best. Walk us through what photos you want to use and the listings and the layout and customizations and all that good stuff. So once you've got that onboarded, then we'll also take care of the maintenance and everything once your site goes live. But it's great to have that direct booking solution, especially nowadays.
Mm-hmm. And so you can connect with the PMS onto these websites. You're obviously connected to Beyond for the dynamic pricing and the channel management as well.
Mm-hmm.
And how does the payment system work in there? What system are you using there with the booking engine? Is it all built in Beyond?
So it'll basically, so not at Beyond, it'll fall back on the PMS or whatever direct connection you have from the booking engine. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Specifically for Signal. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Great. There was one feature that I quite liked about sharing the search results and the quotes. I like that, sending them off from the website to friends and family. Is that how it works?
Yeah, absolutely. So really exciting to get those quotes sort of exported directly from the booking engine and be able to share and pass them around. That's been a really cool feature. And now that we've got Signal, Signal we've had for almost 2 years at this point. So we've got a ton of new features coming, a ton of new integrations coming. And I think one thing in general Beyond that I'm really excited about is, we have these great, amazing core products. How can we start to have them talk to each other a bit more? We're doing that with dynamic channel markups. But if you're using Signal and Relay and dynamic pricing, how does this all start to weave into your revenue management strategy and change how you operate that moving forward? So we've got some things coming up this year and in the future as well that I'm excited about for all of our products.
And besides, the last thing I was going to ask about was the revenue management, but we've sort of covered that anyway. But was the insights that you're offering too?
Yeah, so we've had sort of portfolio level insights, data and analytics on all of your listings summarized in one, almost since day one. But we really built it out in early 2020, and the timing worked out really, really well with the pandemic and people wanting more data to see what's going on in the future, what's going on in my market. So Insights is a product that we have that's actually completely free for all of our users. You don't have to be using any of our products. You can plug in your OTA account, you can plug in your website or PMS connection and get all of this for free. So we don't charge on it right now. And basically, it'll summarize all of your data. You can slice and dice it a couple different ways. You can pull in market data and compare. So see across a couple different metrics how you're doing against the market. And to me, it really is the hub of your strategy. I think if you're doing a regular weekly or daily revenue management review, it starts in Insights. You're looking at what have I picked up since I last made changes to my strategy? What's the future looking like? Am I doing better than the market? That all happens in Insights. And then from there, you make changes in Relay or pricing or Signal and operate and maintain your revenue management strategy. So very excited about that one. Again, a ton more changes coming to that because I think there's so much data, and now it's really all about, well, what do I do after looking at this chart or this graph for a period of time? So very excited about our Insights product, and again, completely free to use for anybody.
Okay. Now, what is your unique selling point? I'm sort of getting the gist that you're offering a lot of different services that I could probably put a company name to with each, but you're offering all under the one umbrella. Is that what you would say your unique selling point is?
Absolutely. So if you're using multiple of our products, you're reaching out to the same support team. You're dealing with the same onboarding team. So really, if you're handling different things, one of the biggest frustrations we've had from property managers is that from their tech stack and software perspective, they're dealing with maybe 5 or 6 different companies, and it's different ways to contact them, different solutions, different timings. When you're using multiple products with Beyond, we can see all of that in one. That also sort of leads to our amazing support team. We have an amazing global support team available for all of our users to reach out and not only understand how to use Beyond's tools, but also learn more about revenue management. We do so much education because we really think it's valuable for all of our users in the industry as a whole. So leaning on our support team is really, really crucial for all of our users. If you have one property or 1,000 on beyond, you're getting a level of service that's really, really tailored to you that a lot of people really appreciate. The last thing I'll say is when I started at Beyond, I started on our product and revenue management team, which I love. I think I always got the question, what does the revenue management team at Beyond do? We don't necessarily revenue manage direct properties, but we almost revenue manage markets around the world. So we look at everybody using Beyond against everybody who isn't, and then we're able to tweak sort of the algorithm or make changes or just get a sense check on how different markets are changing globally. We have an entire team dedicated to that. So we didn't launch the world in a day for our pricing algorithm or any of our products. Our team hand launches and goes in and looks at the data, looks at 10 plus years of data for any market that we've launched, gets everything set up, makes sure everything looks okay, and then moving forward, proactively sort of watches how things are going. I always say, if you go back to our blog in early January 2020, we posted an article about some of the red flags we were getting in some of our Asian markets about coronavirus and cancellations and what to do. And we saw that, and our team saw that and made changes. And unfortunately, we had to do that for the next 2 years. But that's one of the things that I really love about Beyond is just the amazing team that we have behind us.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Now, so back to sort of like question one. As a property manager, I'm coming to Beyond. So do I decide on which service I want, or do you offer only the whole package, or how does it work for a property manager approaching you in terms of all that you offer?
Yeah, absolutely. Everything, depending on integrations, sometimes can be totally a la carte. So we started off with dynamic pricing. We have, a ton of users just using dynamic pricing. You could also add in Relay or Insights or Signal, but you can basically use any product standalone. Again, depending on the integration. For Signal, for example, the PMS integrations we're working on building out, we have quite a few already. So as we build out more, we'll be able to offer that to more people. But that's really the only limitation. So you could use all 4 of our products, 5 including our revenue management service, or just one, whatever works for you.
Now, what size? Who is your target audience? What size company?
Yeah, it goes back to everyone. We have a spectrum of users that really only have one shared room on Airbnb that they're selling. And they can sort of plug everything pretty easily. They're obviously not managing too much at scale. So it's very easy for them, for pricing example, to plug in and say, take care of my pricing strategy, use this and run with it. And that's somebody with just one or maybe a few listings. Then we can scale up to somebody with 100 or 200 listings, and they're able to also manage easily their entire portfolio in Beyond. We've got bulk actions, we've got insights that summarizes everything for you, that makes it pretty scalable. And then even 1,000 plus listings, you're doing the same thing. It's easy to slice and dice. It's easy to build everything out and really get control of your revenue management strategy at any scale. And that pretty much goes for any one of our products. I mean, I don't see too many people building a direct booking website with one property, but it's available there for you if you'd like. And again, we've built out different service levels and different support levels for all of our users. We've learned a lot since launching in 2014, if you could imagine. So we've really built all that out for every size of property manager.
And where is your audience located? You are a global service, correct?
Yes, absolutely. So all around the world, we started work in launching North America right when we started, but we've done plenty of work since then to be available all around the world. That goes for all of our products for the most part, again, limited by integrations in some instances, but yeah, all around the world. We have offices in San Francisco, Chicago, Lisbon, and also Barcelona. So we've got plenty of support around the world for anybody in any time zone, which is great. And yeah, users all over the place, which is super exciting.
Absolutely. Now, it sounds like a complicated question now, but how does the pricing work? So I know all the services that you offer, can you sort of just give me a general understanding of how your pricing works?
Absolutely. So I'll break it down by product. Dynamic pricing and Relay are actually the same. It's 1% of each booking that we're using for each product. So if we price one booking with pricing, 1% is the cost plugging into the tool right away today. The great thing about that is we're completely aligned with our strategy. We win when you win. I think a good example of this was when all the cancellations came in March and April of 2020. We actually paid back out quite a bit to hosts because guests weren't staying. You weren't paying a flat fee. You're just using that 1%. So that's the same for pricing and relay at 1%. Signal is a flat cost. So just depending on customizations and the size that we're looking at for Signal, that's kind of variable for what Signal.
And website, yeah.
Absolutely. And then guidance is our revenue management service. That again is a percent of every booking, but that's just a service where somebody sort of manages Beyond for you if needed. And then insights is the final one here, and that one's completely free. We don't charge anything for using insights. Connect for free, use it for free, all that good stuff.
Lovely. Now, is there a contract? Does a manager get locked in a year, a month, or can they just come and go as they want?
So anybody with just a handful of listings can, actually anybody really can connect directly to our website and get up and running. We offer a 30-day free trial. You can test how out our pricing looks. You can actually connect to Beyond Pricing, look at the prices without ever turning on prices. We start charging when we're pushing to the property management system or the OTA, but we don't ultimately charge until you turn on that listing. Anybody over, I would say 10 to 20 listings should reach out to our sales team and talk about getting on a contract or something like that. You can do that directly through our website or any contacts that you have. But yeah, you can get up and running right now or reach out and also get on a contract as well.
Well, let's come to the end of my questions. Is there anything else you wanted to add?
I would just say keep an eye on what we're doing this year. Beyond is really excited again about talking more about revenue management. Even since I've started at Beyond in 2019, I've seen how we've moved from just pricing to revenue management. And I come from the hotel space and revenue management and saw what that world looked like. And I'm so excited about what this industry has to offer and has to do. I think the past 2 years has been really exciting for everybody, with a few hiccups along the way. But heading into 2022, we're very excited. So keep an eye out. We'll be at quite a few shows, quite a few markets this year, posting a lot on our blog and social media as well. Tips and tricks and things that we're learning from the industry. So just be on the lookout.
Yeah, that's great. So Beyond is a lot more than dynamic pricing.
Exactly. That's great.
Yeah. Okay. If anyone has any questions for Ryan or anyone at Beyond, please drop them in the comments below and we'll get back to you. I'll put a link for Beyond in the description below and one for the guest inspector. Ryan, it's been really great hearing about Beyond and lovely to chat to you today.
Thank you. It's been amazing. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.